Hey, I'm here to talk about pulling back the curtain on practitioner mastery. I have been quiet about this so far, and I've had so many questions lately that it's time for me to answer them. Practitioners, manual and movement alike, this conversation is for you. Hi everybody, we call our year-long practitioner mastery program Practitioner Mastery for a reason, because mastery by definition, I'm big on words, mastery by definition is a comprehensive knowledge and skill-based outcome, right? So in mastery, we are actually accomplishing by the end of the year deep knowledge and deep skill in resolving orthopedic issues with our clients. And so that can be any manual or movement practitioner, meaning if you're a personal trainer and your client has hip replacement or aging, I don't really believe in aging, so I can't even believe I just said that, but I've had personal trainers say to me, a client with a 65-year-old shoulder. Doesn't really matter how old the shoulder is, but it matters that they can't do their workout. And massage therapists alike, I keep doing the same work with my client and their pain goes away for a little while, but then it comes back. If that is your story and you want to get to the end of it, that is what practitioner mastery is about. The Schatz Method is a trademarked method, which means it doesn't exist in other places, which I'm super proud about that. And that's how I know that it works. I know that it works before it got registered because I had to prove it clinically first to say that I had something that was different that we could then trademark. So that's already been done. You can just trust that the clinical research is already there. And unless you're in mastery with me, you're not learning that method. Some of the confusion has been I'm live every week on YouTube and I train every week, and we have a membership club and I'm in other places and I'm in videos and there's courses and all the things. And so I've had some practitioners say, oh, I thought I was learning the method from you. And I don't want to confuse you guys anymore. You're only learning the method with me if you're actually in practitioner mastery. What you could be learning from me and all the other places is still great stuff. And I love training practitioners. It's like my happy place to talk anatomy all day long. But what we would be learning if you're seeing me outside of practitioner mastery is anatomy and physiology, applied functional anatomy, biomechanics, and the way to work through client questions if you have them, although we can't solve client questions outside of the method because you don't have enough of the tools to be able to walk you through a case study. But I've helped practitioners even generate more clarity around their case studies. I'm doing all of that every week. Love doing that on Tuesday trainings. Tuesday trainings is where you'll see me live every week on YouTube, and I'm teaching straight up free training every week, anatomy, physiology, biomechanics, and we're drip feeding every week in about an hour of training as we go. Cool. In the club, which is my membership club, practitioners are in the club to get an entire course. We have revolving content every month, and it's an entire course on one body of work. Like 16 credit hour courses every month drop into the club, and it's anatomy. It's not the Schatz Method. But the anatomy is needed. This is the key. The anatomy is needed to learn the method. And when I ran the Practitioner Mastery Program the first time many years ago, the mistake that I made was anticipating that the practitioners that were with me had enough depth of anatomy to be able to jump into the method. Now we just put all the anatomy in the program so that you leave with a depth of your anatomy backwards and forwards, and there's no question about that. Muscles, movement, and everything else in between. But I think where I'm confusing you guys is in the club, that's our community. It's our membership community. There are mastery practitioners in the community because they're there because they love the community. They're also there to review their anatomy because we know that we can keep learning anatomy. And while they have a deep dive, there's always nuggets that they can take and apply it into new circumstances with the clients that they're working on. You'll get a whole course in each month in the revolving content in the club, but it's not content about the mastery program. It's anatomy and functional anatomy and a little bit of strategic thinking in there. Then Tuesday trainings, of course, we already mentioned, you might see mastery practitioners there too. Again, it can be confusing. You think you're sitting in the space with Schatz Method master practitioner, and they're there on Tuesday trainings because they value community and live training, because we know that when we learn together in community, it fosters growth. Again, not to confuse you, but just to include you actually. But the mastery program is once a year. You'll know it if you're in it because you went through the application process. We don't accept everybody into the program because it's an intensive program. It's transformational. There's a lot required of you to get you to that next level of higher thinking, and also just working with more complicated cases, basically. So you need to make sure you have enough training and knowledge around that. The method is only live in the mastery program, and the program is only offered once per year. The timing of this question that I get to answer for you guys today is actually pretty right on target. We open up doors for new mastery practitioners every 1st of July. And the mastery program is a year. Those practitioners come through 1st of July, and then they move through the program for the entire year until June 3rd of the following year, and then it's graduation time. So we still do graduation like the rest of the universe. Like June is still graduation, and it's also enrollment for next masteries. We roll right from graduation 1 week, and those practitioners move on to their mastery life. And then we start right away with the new master practitioners who are headed in for day one and week one. So that's what we're up to schedule wise. And so that's happening right now. If you thought you were learning mastery, if you thought you were learning the Schatz Method, and you thought that you were included in what is included in the mastery program, and you now realize that that's not true, then just reach out to me and we'll see if the program is the right program for you. I wouldn't want you to think that you were going to drip feed yourself on Tuesdays 1 hour at a time to working with the method. In fact, if you thought, and this is the other thing that came up this weekend as I was talking to some practitioners, if you thought that coming to Tuesday training was like a deep dive and it was really working for you, that's awesome. That means that the anatomy that we cover on Tuesdays for Tuesday training is the anatomy that lights you up. And so that works because that's the foundational anatomy that's needed to learn and apply the method. So if you're thinking that Tuesday trainings was already like, wow, this is great, imagine what mastery could do for you. And the same thing if you're in the club and you're moving through courses, or maybe you're with me right now in applied functional anatomy in the 8 Principles course. We're doing that course live right now, and I've done some courses live. Last fall we did another one. If you're in a course with me and you think, wow, this course is really like loaded, this must be the method. It's not. It's one course out of 200 hours of coursework that we use in the methods. The program, the mastery program, just has so much more in it. If you think that one course is already lighting up your life, like so what I said to somebody this weekend, imagine what a year of that could do. It could really change the trajectory of the way you work as a practitioner. And that's ultimately what I want. I want for you guys to have exactly the level that you're looking for. Whatever level you're climbing to, I will meet you there. And I had another level 2 mastery graduate say, there isn't really like levels. It's not like we're hierarchy on top of each other. And I agree 100%. It's not about a hierarchy. It's about how much further have you taken yourself? To what level did you grow to? Wherever you want to grow to, I'm right there with you. So that's what we're up to in the mastery program track. And that's probably why you see other Schatz Method mastery graduates showing up side by side in some trainings with you, because they strive. They're strivers. They're hungry for it. They're committed to it. And I am right there with them all along the way. So if that's something that lights you up, please let me know. I'm happy to talk to you about it. Now is the time of year to have that conversation, just to see if that's what's up for you. And I also just really want to make sure that you do feel welcomed wherever you show up. If you show up on Tuesday trainings on the YouTube channel, I love having you there. If you're in our community club, in our members only club, it's private. You can ask any question you want. I'm in there every day answering questions. You're moving through coursework. You're taking yourself on. I love that for you. And if you thought you were learning the Schatz Method and that's ultimately what you want, is to resolve orthopedic pain, I haven't even shown you anything yet, unless you're in the mastery program. So come join us, or at least join me for a conversation. If you're here for a deep dive into knowing your anatomy no matter what, and you are committed to solving orthopedic restrictions and issues with the clients that you serve so that you can get those issues out of the way and go back to doing the thing that you were doing with them before mastery, then let's have a conversation, because that's what the mastery program is for. Okay. And I'm going to come back and share with you a little bit more detail about that. I'd also love to answer the questions that you have. So please let me know if you have any. And with that, I bid you adieu for today. I will see you guys again tomorrow. Bye for now.